Hi authors, my name is Jennifer Carr and I'm here to help you build more realistic characters with psychology. As both a marriage and family counselor and a former high school AP psychology teacher, I have insider information that could help you write better stories and more relatable characters. Today we're looking at the inner workings of a villain in order to write the most realistic villain you can. When you think fictional villain, what's the first thing that pops into your head? There are some pretty notorious fictional villains out there. How about Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter, or the White Witch from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Those guys really knew how to be a villain. They physically and aggressively imposed on the protagonists in their respective stories. But what about Count Dracula, or Professor Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes? These guys are villains people love to hate while also finding them intriguing. While their villainy resulted in physical detriment to their victims, their appeal to the masses was based on their intellectual prowess and ability to charm and manipulate others. The key to writing a memorable villain is to not only know what their strengths are, but to know their weaknesses and their motives for becoming a villain. Keep in mind that understanding people in general requires you to understand more than anything their motivations. The human psychologist Abraham Maslow believed there was a specific set of motivators he called needs that had to be met in order for a person to become well-rounded and adept at life. Maslow called it a hierarchy of needs, so we structure it as a pyramid as a visual aid, with the base being the most important needs to be met. Physical needs, and this includes food, water, sleep, shelter, and clothing. If one's energy is devoted entirely to survival, his focus on anything else is diminished. Now, once physical needs are met, security becomes important. Personal security, financial, emotional, and physical security. Next, we have social needs, the longing for love and acceptance, which can be satisfied by family, friends, and intimate relationships. As a person finds acceptance, he or she builds up their self-esteem. There's this need to be valued by those around us, whether it's personally or professionally. And once it's fulfilled, the desire to accomplish something greater begins to grow, which leads us to self-actualization. Once our basic needs are met and we're comfortable psychologically, we desire to fulfill the purpose for which we were created. Finding ways to meet these needs is considered the driving force for humans. Maslow believed that if there was any need or combination of needs left unmet, the person would suffer from unfulfillment. So let's consider our beloved Count Dracula. When he became a vampire, his body was changed, but his mind and memories remained intact. All of his natural instincts are there, but he has to relearn how to exist within the world that he no longer belongs to, and that kind of experience would take a toll on a human psyche. Whether the process was self-inflicted or otherwise, it's unclear in the original novel, but nonetheless, a drastic change such as Dracula's transformation from human to inhuman comes with plenty negative trauma responses. You can see previous videos that I've created to learn more about trauma and their responses. These trauma responses can be credited to unmet needs. He needs sources of food. He lacks personal relationships. No acceptance means no self-esteem. All of the above leads to an unfulfilled person. Rather than striving to find creative and positive means of meeting his needs, the Count becomes a villain. As I will continue to encourage you to do, before you get too deep into your writing, get to know your characters, determine who they are, give them an identity, then decide what their needs are and whether or not they will be met. Once you know this, settle on the results of your character's decision. This will become their motivation. I'll cover how to create your character's motivations in a separate video, but I hope this is helpful in some way to at least get you started down the path of writing characters a little more accurately and realistically in order to keep the focus on your story and to hold your reader's attention. If you have questions about developing your character's personality, or if you just want to dive deeper into topics like this one, hit the follow button, leave a comment below, and I'll be sure to make it happen.